Hey y'all, I'm smiling. What's up? I'm usually coming on here trying to tell y'all that I need your energy, but today I'm doing all right. Okay. I feel like who's that to ask? Ladies, how y'all doing? Fellas, y'all all right? I feel good. I don't know why I just did, you know? So welcome back to another episode of the B Mix right here on BExposedRadio.com. Y'all already know what Thursdays at 8 o'clock are for. Come on. Do I have to remind you? All right, it's fine. I will. It's okay because I need some reminders like often. So it's totally okay. Y'all know right here on the B Mix. Who's it for? Everybody. Why? Because it's for the me, the unheard, the what? The forgotten. Who else? What? The unseen. Everybody. Okay, whether it be the forgotten part of you or the person that just does not belong anywhere. The me. So welcome or welcome back. Okay. Um, First and foremost. I cannot believe y'all allowed me to act funny. Okay, we are 2 weeks into October and y'all didn't let me set the standard. Okay, I don't understand. I thought, I'm not gonna drop a tear, nothing, but I definitely thought we were a little closer by now. It's been a couple months, y'all. Okay, I thought we were closer. I thought y'all would have set me straight. So y'all mean to tell me if I was sitting here with a boogie at my nose, y'all wouldn't have told me? If I was sitting here with a little dry spot, a little dry patch, across my face or something, y'all wouldn't have told me? So y'all wouldn't have told me to step back and make sure that I, check up on y'all and see if, I don't know, what did you do for National Mental Health Day on the 10th? Hmm? Let's set some some housekeeping, some ground rules right now. What's going on? How did y'all commemorate Indigenous Peoples Day on the 11th? Huh? Hello? Oh, okay. Um, not most importantly, but along with the important factors in October, are you registered to vote as of the 13th? I told you I'm not playing with y'all. Last week, did I fuss or did I fuss? I fussed. I did. I know. I did it with love, but I fussed. I did. And I told y'all. I went as far as saying, don't even come back. Don't come back to the family meeting. Don't get back on here unless you are registered to vote. Okay? The day has come and gone now. It's past the 13th. Today is the 15th. Amen. So we are 2 days past, 48 hours past your due date. And you shouldn't have waited until the 13th to do it, but I'm not knocking you. So if you registered to vote as of the 13th, October 13th, 2020, I'm not mad at you. Thank you, is what I'm saying. Okay. Also, before we get on into this thing, happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. To all my soldiers, all survivors, and I mean amongst us on this side of glory or on the better and best side of glory. Thank you. Thank you for your fight. I mean that. I appreciate it. I don't know if y'all can see my little pink. It's a little light pink. And I want y'all to see From Me to a T Boutique by Jay Cherie, Manifesting My Destiny. We're going to get into that. Last but not least, happy LGBTQ plus History Month. Come on. Yeah, October is popping. October is definitely lit. Okay, just saying. All right, I digress. Let's get on up into this thing, shall we? Okay. Y'all, come on, come on in, Let me make sure that y'all getting this. Let me make sure I share this thing out. Why do we? Why do we call ourselves treating ourselves to something that's not necessarily a treat? Let that resonate for a second. I'm gonna let that, mist all up in the atmosphere. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let that sit. I want to know. I want to know why we do that. Why do we do that? Something that is not good for us, we call ourselves, giving us a treat. Like I'm gonna treat myself, Hi, Lucy. Hi, Chris. Hi, Lucy. Hey, y'all. Love yous. Come on. Yes, you can. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for keeping me together. Because I had my belly here and I was going to come back to it because I thought about it after I said it. But let's go back, shall we? Because it's important. Chris makes sure that he keeps me together because this is what we need. We need people to keep us in order when we fall astray. So, you can still do same day registration. Thank you. It's some stipulations to it. Okay. but it is possible. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Slipped my mind just that fast. So thank you. I mean that. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear y'all cousin Chris? I really call him Uncle Chris, but same thing. Cousin Chris might actually be the new name Chris. That's kind of cute. Neither here nor there. Yes, so same day, because we're preparing now for what day? November 3rd. Get up and vote. Here, you have 5 days. We're gonna say 4, because remember we said we're just gonna say the 19th, because it's like that 11:59. Everybody's trying to submit that essay, and you don't submit it till 12:01. Then you gotta explain to your professor, and been there too many times. So technically we have until the 20th. Let's say the 19th, okay, to apply for your mail-in ballot. Okay? We are voting, y'all. Okay? Y'all catch my drift? Y'all see the smile? But y'all know I'm not playing behind it? I'm not playing. I do a lot of this. I do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put that down. Ooh. What Martin do? Sit. Like, let me tell rest my dog, okay? But I'm telling y'all right now, y'all be having me like this, like cocked back, like ready to just. I digress. Y'all, we're voting. Okay? We are voting. Okay? So if you are not having a conversation with your peeps, if you have not had it already, we're voting. Yes. Shake your head in agreement. Yes. Yes, we're voting. You're voting? Yes. Yes, you are. Okay? Make it happen. I don't care. Don't care. Like, it's not even up for debate. We don't even really need to go into how important it is, y'all. It's literally common sense. And I know amongst us cousins, okay, all us skin folk, okay, the black side, amen, the brown, the colored side, I know we don't all have that common sense, y'all. I know. Mama knows. But this thing here, this thing common, okay? We all know that we need to vote. Okay, so moving on. Back to my question. Why? Why are we treating ourselves for things that are not good for us? Okay, y'all need a little example. That's fine. Let's see. Got it. When I work out, because I know I'm snatching back for y'all. I don't know if y'all checking that double chin, baby. It's getting less and less every time, every week, baby. This face belongs on the tizzy. Okay, listen. This chin, that double, it's under fumble. I don't know if that makes sense or not, because I kind of understand football, but whatever. So when we work out, right, we say, oh, it's my cheat day. I'm going to have a cheat meal or something, right? Why is it something that we know is not good for us? And then it's going to reverse our progress. Listen, let me go back, y'all. It does not mean I haven't done it. What did I tell y'all from the beginning? Y'all need me to go back? I only speak on things that I have experience with. I promise you. Even if you talk to me like personally, like on the phone, child, I'm only going to talk on something. And if I don't have it, I can express empathy, right? So I can meet you where you are. I can cry with you, be angry with you, whatever the case may be. But I'm a thinker, so I'm going to try to think out of it. I always try to get to a resolve, unless you set the standard and the precedent of the conversation and say, hey, I just need to just pour out. I get that too, right? So I'm just your all around, kind of guy. But if it does not make sense, you don't hear it. And that's okay, because it's from love, right? It's with love. So anywho, all that being said, have done that even recently in like working out with a trainer and all, and really trying to cinch this thing together. Side note, can I just say that literally since I stopped talking to the last guy that I told you I was talking to, Lord mercy, because y'all know I never call him my boyfriend. One, because I'm not calling, and ain't no boyfriend, baby. You're finna be my man. But now I'm at this place where it's finna be my husband. Amen. So one, he was my boyfriend, so that's why I had to say the guy. Secondly, because he wasn't qualified. Okay. So, but anyway, when I started talking to him, and even like way before then, right, when like literally the day that I broke up with my ex, oh my gosh, how long ago was that? A while ago. Okay, year, 2 years. Oh, Oh wow. Oh Lord. Moving on. What did I tell myself? I said, I'm getting ready for my wedding, for my marriage. And like really, since I've been real serious about snatching this thing together, I'm getting ready for my wedding dress. I said wedding. Ready for my wedding dress. I'm not joking. Y'all, I don't know. I'm just manifesting. Okay. Get into it. Okay. We're going to get into this. So, again, if I have a goal in mind, and we all fall short of the glory, we all, get distracted, sidetracked, however you want to put it. We lose sight of the vision of our goal of, what we need to do, what we said, I'm doing this. This is it. This is it, right? I mean, prime example, Rona. That was a good that's a good excuse to lose sight of whatever affirmations you made for the year for 2020. I don't know about y'all. I have not written off 2020, even when I was like pissed about COVID. Like I'm hurt for people that hurt during this time. Do not get me wrong, but when I was dealing with my own self like stuff and like just working from home like to think back, y'all, at some point I was really complaining about working from home. I'm humbled. Like, girl, if you don't get, um, so we fall short. We lose sight, right? And so I get that we can easily get distracted to where I'm working on something, I'm making a little progress, or somebody else says, if we stay with the example of working out, right? And so somebody just slipped up and called me skinny, yo, skinny. Um, and then I'm like, you know what? Here we get getting a cookie. Now what common sense? It doesn't. I'm here to tell y'all. I'm here to tell you. Oh Lord, I just slit my legs. I know you're talking and you pop your leg. And yesterday was leg day. Can we have a moment of silence for my legs? If my trainer, this is for him. You think I'm fitting to use my legs tomorrow? You got another mother loving thing coming here. I'm not using them. I'm not using them. Baby, it is something. Speaking of getting sidetracked, y'all, I gotta say this. It is something, and I mean this with all my heart, okay? It is something that tells me that there is a man. There's not men bashing, but there's a man behind leg day. Okay, let me tell you what. Women, we sit to use the restroom much more than a man does because we have to do that all the time, right? Whereas for a man, he might have to sit once, maybe I don't know, depending on regulation, but a couple times throughout the day. For us, every single time we got to go. Okay, we got to sit. Okay, the way I have to hold on to something to bend these thighs in half to plop on that porcelain after leg day, it's ungodly. It's inhumane. Like it's treacherous. Like if he hated me, that's all he had to say. That's all he had to say is look me in my eyes, man to man, and tell me that he hated me because that's what I feel. And like a crazy, I went for a good like I don't know. I really think I did like 3 miles today, but a walk. I didn't get no running because I had to take it easy. But like, girl, I digress. I digress. All I'm saying is I'm not using my legs no more. Okay. I really plan to army crawl to the track tomorrow when we go to training because I'm not using them. Okay. Y'all, when I got to sit down right here, this is it for the night. I'm going to sleep right here. This is it. This is it. Moving on. So if I were to say, you know what, let me let me eat, my issue, let me call it out, bread. Ooh, oh Lord. Got to stay all the way away from it. Because other than that, it's everything bread. If I be like, what, okay, I'll just have a quick, little sandwich for lunch or something, right? Then it's, sandwich, I don't know, I might want a bagel, okay, want a little cake, okay, I might want a little donut or something, maybe a tasty cake or something that popped up, just everything, just everything. Then it's probably another sandwich that came about, was probably driving and it's quick and fast, it's fast food, so I done grab me a little sandwich or something, just Just bread. We got to cut them at the knees, okay? Bread not gonna take everything you do to me, bread. I wish right back on you, okay? I'm not having it with the bread. So my thing is, if making all the progress that I'm making, right? Why would I dare? Like, unless I know that I've gotten to a place where, catch this, where I can control myself, where I can truly minimize, my intake, right? Where, once I've taken in, one portion of bread, right? That it can be like, okay, that's it right there. It don't work like that if we realize when we're taking in something that is not good for us, right? Like for us, like I'm not saying for y'all that bread ain't good, right? Me again, it's not just a little bread, it's all bread. Like, and that's just in a day. Like just give me all, give me. And so that's what I mean by asking, why is it that we call ourselves treating ourselves to something that's not good for us? Okay. Let's get away from that because y'all don't hear me. So, how about, have you ever thought that you trigger yourself? Speaking of bread, I feel like I'm getting indigestion just thinking about the bread. Have you ever thought about, because we talk about triggers, right? We've talked about, we'll get there. I know we haven't had an in-depth conversation about triggers on here, but we'll get there. We've definitely touched on it right here and there. But yeah, the conversation, the term, the phrase triggers is out here so much in the world, on the World Wide Web, on the internet. The internet is definitely like all of our favorite cousin right now. It's their cousin that shows up. They got the party pack to keep the party pack in his car, that shows up, goes on the cutting walk, during Thanksgiving. You know the cutting walk. Don't act like you don't know the cutting walk. Okay? Everybody know the cutting walk. Okay. And if you don't, that's a good thing. And you don't never want to find it. Okay? You don't want to go on the cutting walk if you ain't never been on the cutting walk. Just take my word for it. Okay. So when we talk about triggers, right? Everybody again is talking about in some way, shape, or fashion, oh, that triggered me, right? Or caution, this might trigger you, or this, that, and the third. Just the word trigger is out here, which it should be. It's an important thing to talk about. But have you ever once stopped to ask yourself, if you trigger yourself? Ooh. Have you? I thought about it. Let's talk about it. So, your boy, old Mortimer, right here, okay? Benia. What have I talked to you about before? Now, what we did talk about is vices. We definitely talked about vices, okay? So, when we talked about vices, I don't know if y'all remember my stuff, but I don't have no problem repeating it, especially when I'm trying to make a point. So, my vices, and the list is actually a little longer, I think, than I shared then. But if we think about bad habits as far as outside habits, I think, not internal, right? Even though they're all triggered from internal, but neither here nor there. So when I talked about my vices, I talked about what I say, the three that went hand in hand: drinking, smoking, and sex. And Jesus, just woo. Okay. Prime example. So how I triggered myself is when I knew. I feel like really ever since I've said this before, I never really considered myself to be a drinker, right? Which thank God, for me, I'm talking about for me, okay? Internalize it how you need to, but for me, okay? For Benia, never considered myself, to be a drinker. And I say thank God to that, because I really could have chosen, I've known, some people that really, say if they were, for example, if they were smokers, then they, and try to break that habit because they need, to get a job or just whatever, right? Just because. Then it'd be all right, well, I'm gonna just drink. Not really. I get it, but anywho. So I didn't really fall into that. Probably found myself, doing that a little more. And the crazy part is that I'm just the person to call a duck a duck. So when I talk about drinking, have I had times I've definitely experienced alcohol poisoning and things like that in college? Ooh, Lord. But it's crazy because I just call it, you know what, if I say if I overdrink just by one drink or, you know, multiple drinks, right? That's still in the same category. Overdrink is overdrink. Okay. So, you know, not that I have to like clarify that, but I just want to be clear, like in case anybody's like struggling to relate. If you're like, well, girl, I only, you know, it was either just that one time or it was a time where I overdrank just by like a drink and I was still okay. That's fine. You still fall in this category, baby. Come on in. Okay. Welcome. Okay. Arms wide open. Okay. So we need to talk about this thing. And so with me triggering myself, that I'm very well aware. Can we talk, y'all? Can we talk? All right, cool. Because it's the B mix, right? All raw and authentic material, right? So I know that when I drink, when I smoke, I want somebody's son. Okay, y'all can fill in the ellipses there, dots, dots, and dots. Okay, like I need a victim. Okay, and so I've told y'all that I've gone out like recently, right? Like twice, once or twice. Ooh, and you know, learned like that is not my scene, which I've known that, but it was like my confirmation that it's just not my scene, and that's another reason why, because it's like that makes me want. Oh, I know what I did. I talked about that the first of the two times that I've gone out recently that I and like getting ready for it. Like, you know, and when I was in party mode, like back in the day, like, you know, it was pre-gaming. Pre-game, okay, drinking, smoking while I'm doing my makeup and getting dressed, fixing my hair, you know, picking out the cutest little outfit that got, you know, got me sitting right. Okay, that listen, my part was always stressing about what's gonna make my butt look big because I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret, and it's the only time I'm gonna admit it. In my mind, you can't tell me that I don't have the fattest thing ever. It's not. It's not at all. You know, it's it's so not. But trust and believe, this is my only time telling y'all that. Catch me at any given time. I'm gonna tell you that it's thick, like thick. Okay. But it's really retractable. That's really the thing, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm the girl that, you know, you get to twerking in the club, boop, 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 twerking at the party, hey, you know, got on a blue dress, twerking. Because again, I'm always wearing something to make sure that when I toss it, you know, it toss just right. And then when I stand up, so it'll be like the guy like that. Damn, what's shorty with the blue dress? She was fat, like she was tossing that thing. You'd be like, I'm right here. Be like, no, that's not you, that's me. It was me. It's retractable. Moving on. So, you know, just preparing, you know, pregame and all that. Because, of course, by the time you get to the party, boom, you know, with your drinks, get your smoke on, whatever, boom, boom. And after that, by the time, you know, you make your moves, like you send in the text. If that's not, I told y'all, you know, I think, yeah, I've said it to y'all that I'm abstaining, like for real. I'm abstaining, right? Until marriage. Like, just hold on to this thing. Such a gift that it is. Anyway, so if I'm holding on to it, I'm not going to trigger myself. I had to realize that, like, yeah, that helped me to put it down for real, like the drinking down, the smoking down. Like, no, I don't. Because if I cut out, I guess like in the equation, if I cut out the sum of it all, then the other pieces of it, it's no point of that either, right? That's how God works. I'm telling y'all, God is good. That thing, he is good. He will have you to come up with it, and he be sitting there like, yup, that's my baby. She figured it out. That's my baby. At least that's how I would react if I was God. So again, thank God I'm not God, because I'd have killed a lot of y'all by now. Just because y'all don't listen. We don't listen, but neither here nor there. But you know, so you got to be mindful of what you know brings out certain behaviors of yourself. And if you continue to indulge in the things that lead to that behavior, you're triggering yourself. In essence, you are triggering yourself. And that the worst thing you want to do is to be, you know, and not that this gonna sound weird, right? But follow me. So not that we would want to choose, that someone else would hurt us, but we know that it happens when we say like life happens, right? We don't, oof, I keep slapping that thigh, baby. Whew, almost took me out. But technically, I think that if I had to choose, okay, let's go there. So if I had to choose, right, between someone hurting me and me hurting myself, more than likely I would if that was like literally the only option, like life or death, you can only choose A or B. I would choose that, right? That someone else would be the cause of it because that would make more sense to me. That's always what I'm about because I told y'all last week and any other time that I'm always like internal, right? Always inside my own head. So something, even if something bad happens to me, as long as I can make sense of it, then I can, that's just that. Like, that's like good enough for me. Like, if I can wrap my head around it, I'm doing okay. Like, but as soon when things happen, to me or in front of me, or if I experience something and I can't make any sense of it, that is where I'm like, what in the, I can't make sense of this. So I feel like I have nothing to hold on to. Right. And if it's something total, it's weird. It's a thing. It's a thing, and I'm well aware of it for myself. So I'm a work in progress, as we all should be. So, but so if we are talking about hurt, right, and betrayal or pain, being endured, I would much rather it not be me hurting myself because that makes absolutely no sense. I get it, right? So my brain now just kind of went full scope. So, I know that, as we all know and have at least heard of, I pray that none of you have experienced it, close enough that someone close to you. But when we talk about, so there's, one at one end of the scale as far as like suicide, right? Anyone that, cuts and, inflicts pain upon themselves because of what they're dealing with. Um, why we have to refocus as to why this is such a huge, speaking of a pandemic, right? That is such a pandemic when we talk about suicide in general, but especially when we talk about youth and just everyone really. But when you hear the stats of like who's most likely to go and who's to be successful, who's to like just attempt it, it's heart blowing, not even just mind blowing, but heart blowing, right? So that's one end of it. And then there's, the other end of it where the choices that we make, result in us inflicting pain upon ourselves. So the same way we would want to try to, look at someone that, like I said, for example, cuts, right? That's inflicting like physical pain upon themselves, that a part of us wants to say like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? This and that, right? To the average eye, if I can say that. But in a sense, I would bet that very person could turn around and say the same thing, about you, someone that chooses, to do something knowing that it results in a not so good behavior, in a not so good mindset and mind frame, right? So that's why, some conversations, some points in a conversation are valid when people talk about like choosing to stay in bad relationships. That is a whole nother conversation in itself. But there are some points. I'm always this person that thinks objectively, right? So I told y'all many times that I'm able to remove myself and view things globally. Even if it's like involves me, I don't know. It's a gift and a burden, I think, a blessing and a burden, because it just doesn't make sense to people. But I'm used to not being, understood. So again, the B mix is for the misunderstood. Okay. That just that like it doesn't make sense to certain people, and that is why you're not doing it for others. You're not doing it for that. A reputation will come, right? And so the things that you are choosing for yourself, you want to build that reputation kind of like by default, right? So you're building a good reputation by default by making better decisions and better choices for yourself and those that you love most. So if you are a parent, you're making good decisions for yourself and on behalf of your child or your children. I don't know, even if you're a caretaker, right? If you're taking care of a relative or, whether that's financially, physically, whatever the case may be, what you do truthfully, indirectly, but I really say directly affects and impacts the person that you're caring for. Because if you go and if you decide to just lose it one day at the Walmart, it's only one line open. You trying to figure that out. All you did was to run in there and buy, auntie some Pampers, and it's just like you can't. And you didn't lost. You didn't start just beating up people. I don't know. You didn't pick the card up and I don't know. You just lost it, right? You going to jail. You going to jail. You know it's gonna be a while since you get that phone, like till you get that phone call, right? So you can't call auntie. You got to call somebody else to be able to get to. It's a lot. Like that directly impacts, the well-being of the person that you're caring for. And it doesn't have to even be that drastic and dramatic, but I'm just saying, right? So when we talk about that, that, it's it's the transition of, because I believe that all of us have been at a place. If we are not there now, I commend you. If we, are not there yet, to get to the place of, making better decisions and better choices for ourselves, keeping in mind that we no longer, because again, I keep saying we're in the days of we just have to do now. That's it. There is no wait, and the beauty in how God works with us and works for and literally makes everything work for our good is that even in the time of, like, myself personally right now, like when I'm working on projects, but I've been sitting on them, like I was like breaking my behind, like really focusing and working on them, and then kind of down a little bit, kind of got to a point like, Lord, I'm tired. Can I just watch a little TV, or can I just lay here instead of writing or this or that or planning this out? Like, can I just a little bit? And look what it's done. It's built up, but He's allowed it. Because one, I believe He, was like, all right, I get it. You're a little tired. I get it. You're doing a lot. But also, he just allows you to come to grips in terms of things for yourself, so that when we appreciate, more when the blessing comes, when the harvest comes. So we appreciate, I don't think that He's not a God of like, told you so, or I was waiting. I knew you was gonna take time to do that. Like, He's not that. Thank God. Again, y'all better thank God that I'm not God, because I'm not that person as a person. But I feel like if I was God, I don't know. I remember last week we were talking about dreaming. You ever dreamt like what you would do or how you would be if you were God? Anybody else love that movie, Bruce Almighty? All right, I digress. But one of my favorite movies, because one of Jim Carrey. Love Jim Carrey. But just think of it. Like, look how he was very selfish in the beginning. And God had to help him realize that, like, I gave you my power, and did you do anything for anybody else? Like, you didn't upgrade your car. I think he popped up with a Lambo all of a sudden. He made his wife's boobs bigger. Like, he had amazing, fun time. I don't know if y'all saw that wink, but it was a wink. I've been working on my winks. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm going to be a professional winker. Y'all don't care. It's fine. So, but, and then God was like, but did you, like, he even used it like to get back at somebody at work, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, have you done anything for anybody else? Like, I'm God. So I could take care of everybody. Like, what are you doing? And then next thing you know, because I truly believe that's like an email system. Like, I just believe that, right? And so all of a sudden he was like, oh, let me just, open these emails up and help everybody else start responding back to people. And then he was all tired, and God was like, that's just the people in your area. Like, that's not the world. And it was like a million emails, like as in like prayers. I believe that that's how the system works. I'm telling you, I really believe what we know it to be down here is just amplified up there, and it's seamless. If y'all think I'm lying, y'all already know the deal. Make sure that you are liking and sharing the show. Okay. Also, y'all know the phone lines are always open. Call in. Let me know what you're thinking. Okay. 443-642-9403. Again, 443-642-9403. And so when we talk about the transition, though, again, whether if you are already there, or are, need to get there, of, making better decisions for yourself, that you have to embrace that transition. You can't allow yourself to get stuck, where some of us, and Again, excuse me, speaking for myself, I'm telling you, all of a sudden it was when I started talking about bread that I started feeling like indigestion. It's crazy. So, but okay. So when we talk about the transition, if you know, I was a person just to, make bad decisions for myself, do things that trigger me, that, bring forth this, I don't know, negative attitude, not so good behavior of myself. Because when we talking about like behavior checks, we're not just talking about children. We're not talking about people younger than us. We're talking about ourselves. And if you need to make sense of it, well, we're all children of God. So maybe if that's the way you need to see it, but it's not, we don't grow out of the age where it's like, oh, check my behavior. Is it written on paper? Not necessarily until you do something real crazy, then it's, police record. But, like, so for children or like school age, youth, it's, on the report card or something like that. But for us, it's all you do is grow into being able to do like a mental check of it. Hence why, mental health and mental wellness is so very important, because as adults, as we grow into and matriculate into our adulthood, we learn to, all of a sudden as an adult, you kind of expected to do the mental math, right? So as a child, you might tell me, how many quarters should you get back if you get, $2.50 in change? Okay, cool. Write this down. But as an adult, it's an unwritten expectation, right? Unwritten sense of expectancy for me to compute this in my brain. And then so some of us, if y'all don't notice about me, side note, I do not even allow, but I definitely do not like, honestly, I hate, probably even loathe, like our people, our, colored people, brown and black folk, saying like, we hate man. Stop it. Just stop. Even if you do, that's fine. That's your business. Okay. Shout out to Aunt Ted. That's your business. But don't pass that on. Do not pass that on. I remember working at a high school. I worked there right before like the position I have now with a nonprofit, and I was with another nonprofit, but it was directly in the school. And so a younger guy was like fresh out of college, I think, Morgan State University to be exact, the only HBCU there is. Um, Go Bears. But excuse me, but I remember like him saying, like, to the youth. So again, we're working with high school students, and it's like, yeah, some like it's an after school program and all that. So, kind of like that, each one teach one, like build around, uplifting, empowering, and impacting, and just putting different like, experiences and exposure in front of them, right? And so, but it's like, so yes, we're doing like some, good work, but even simple things of, him saying like, oh, I hate math. That ho, Slim. We got to cut that out. We can't say that, baby. Like we cannot. I was doing a lot of damage control, just all different types of reasons, because whatever. But that was included. That was equally as important to me as us bringing in different vendors and again exposing them to new and different things and opportunities. Equally as important. So again, from now on, no longer share to even someone your age or older. Like just just get out of the habit. Remember last week we talked about just making that decision right then and there. Some things you just have to make the decision, be like, I'm letting it go. Forget like I'm getting that off of me. I'm not saying anymore that I hate math, because you're speaking that. You can change that. And y'all know I'm always say life and death is in the power of the tongue, because it is. I'm not, I change, and am I positive all the time? For the most part, truthfully, yes. But it doesn't mean that, things don't come about. It doesn't mean that I'm not in a place, find myself in a place, here and there. But then I resort into all the work that the point is to do so much self work on your own self, so much work on self that you're able to pull. Remember, I talked about pulling, pulling from the source of love inside of yourself in order to spread it. So the same thing, your self love, your self respect. Okay, if y'all didn't see, just the promo for the show today, I posted, or reposted. I guess you call it meme, even if it's just words. But your self respect has got to be stronger than your feelings. Okay, we're gonna get into more of why, like that second half, but it's equally as important, right? So to be able to pull from that, to pull from your source of, I've worked on self so much on on the inside of me that I'm facing this thing, and it could be a brand new challenge or something repeated. And so you pull from that to be like, I didn't do this right. The last time I was faced with this challenge, this trial, this tribulation. Y'all know the saints love to say trials and tribulation. Um, a phrase that has definitely, had its share. But yeah, so you're able to pull from that place, right? Because you've done the work. That's the whole point. It does not mean it's not going to come. So that's why when they talk about, it doesn't mean that weapons won't form. God just promised that they won't prosper. He wants you to be able to realize, like, oh man, I'm stronger now. Like I'm at a better place. Remember, I told y'all before that I'll say when things come about, when people kind of speak things into me and with just, casual conversation, I say that, I can receive that because that's me like doing a quick like analysis, like, oh, look at me. I wasn't able to receive that before. And that could have been as of yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago, whatever. Right. So it's about us doing the work and being able to, evaluate how some of us have evaluations at work. I really think in any type of work that you do, I think at some point you find yourself, at an evaluation period. At the very least, that initial 90-day, probationary, that's the word I'm looking for, that 90-day probationary period. So that there's an evaluation coming up, that 89th day, that boss is like, all right, nigga, you almost slipped up, but all right, you made it. Here go your benefits, right? So even if it's, a job like that, or if it's a, higher paying, higher level, salaried position that, you find yourself probably like annual evaluations or quarterly or whatever the case may be. But it's for us to you do not wait for somebody else to tell you your stuff. So that's why going back to the beginning of the show, when I said y'all didn't even check me, to tell me that I needed to set the precedent with last week's show, right? Or even not even just last week, 2 weeks, right? The first show was on the 1st. So like to talk about October and to speak on, so much that's going on in October. Like y'all supposed to check me, but I'm glad I didn't wait for y'all to do that. I checked myself. I was like, oh my Lord, we 2 weeks into the, oh Lord, like, no, we can't do this. I got to say something about all this good stuff and great stuff going on up here in October, right? So again, about the transition, when you are able to, when you get to that place, we do that mental math, so to speak, figuratively speaking, that, you figure out something in your head like, oh shoot, okay. This is a place where I make a decision. Now I feel it in me to make a better decision than I would have made, prior to now. So if I had have experienced this thing, some time ago, whatever that time may be, short or, long, short or far, but then I probably wouldn't have made a good decision. But now that I feel like I have to choose between making a good or a bad decision, that means to make the good one, y'all. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you that that little help on that test. Like that little, what's that freebie spot on the bingo board? Side note, I absolutely love it. I don't know why. First, I always love singing the song B-I-N-G. I don't know. Maybe because it was 5 letters, it started with a B. My name, 5 letters, starts with a B. I don't know. But I love playing bingo. Do you want to give me some fun? And they should have never did this. Y'all, when I was living down south, baby, they took me to the bingo spot. Now, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not. I did. If you ever want to go inside of a building where it's nonstop chimney smoking, absolutely go to the bingo spot. What is it called? I keep wanting to call it the bingo parlor. Is that what it's called? It's probably not. I'm wrong about that. It's fine. But I went. But I mean, literally, I just love the little cheap from the dollar store, the baby shop, whatever, just the bingo. And then you boom and you get it and you cry. Oh, God, just to yell out bingo makes my heart glad. Do you hear me? I don't know. Even I love it so much that even when, and I can kind of be a sore loser sometimes. Not really. I think I kind of take it on the chin pretty well. But even if I lose in bingo, like it's always like, darn it, I almost had bingo. But I love bingo. Okay, I digress. I wasn't supposed to let y'all know how excited I get about bingo, but I did. But yeah, what was I even saying about bingo? I forgot, y'all. I got so excited about bingo. I think I was making a point with it, but oh, there we go. That I was telling you that was your little freebie spot on the board, right? But yeah, like you're if you ever are at that crossroad in life where you have to decide, like, because when you're in a churchy way to put it, when you're deep in sin, you don't feel like there's no other choice. Like, this is what I'm doing. Okay, we turn up again tonight, bet, drink and smoke. All right, let's get to it. Let me make my little DA. And yeah, I'm not worried about, and then, whatever. I'm trying to figure out if I can, pull myself up to get in the church on time, or, make it at all, or whatever. I'm figure out, if we, grabbing a pack, right at the church, and we rolling up, like, you're not worried about that. But when you get to a better place in life in general, whatever your belief system may be, just in general, when you know that, I've worked on self, I've worked with whom my, divine power comes from, right? Who I believe in, when they have worked on me enough that, I feel like I need to now make better decisions. As soon as you feel that way, that is when it is then your sole responsibility. Your responsibility to make better decisions for yourself. To keep in mind that it's no longer okay to treat yourself with things that mean you no good. We're just out of those days, y'all. We're out of them. I was about to say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry about it, because it's for our good. It's so much better. The good thing is that our better days really are in front of us. Like, they're coming. They're in them right now. I actually claim harvest time right now. So all my believers out there, woo, woo, harvest time, baby. I'm claiming it right now. Okay. Okay. When we talk about making, okay, let's do this. So when we talk about making better decisions, let's throw something out there. You meet somebody. So say if you are a person like me, that, I mean, literally for as long as I can remember, I really feel like since birth, I have always dreamt of, marriage. I've dreamt of marriage, children, just the whole nine, just this happy, beautiful black, home, just beautiful, right? Just good living. And even in saying that, side note, that I'm grateful that it's like, okay, all this stuff that I've been through, these harsh times that I face, that tells me that, one, it makes me think of two different things simultaneously. One, that, that's been on my heart and on my mind for a reason. I truly believe that God's going to bless me with that. Two, then now at this part of my life, when I self-reflect, because I'm always going to drive that one home, right? As I reflect on self, that because it's always been on my heart, my mind, I'm going to be blessed with that I'm grateful that all of my hard times has happened behind me. So that way, when I'm blessed with this beautiful life ahead of me, that's what it is. It's coming. Doesn't mean that, nothing will go wrong, right? But it means that it probably won't, I would think it probably won't be to the extent of, what I've gone through before, whether it's just because of mindset that I wasn't able to, see it. But I've always been a person who really crazily find the good out of everything. I mean it. And I'm so grateful to God to have that in me, because if I didn't, I really don't know how y'all do it out here and choosing negativity all the time. Yikes. We'll get into that in a second. But baby, you really got to just decide to choose positivity. And it's not an immediate payoff all the time. Mostly it is, because at the least, but you have to, well, when we talk about transitioning, and before I give this example, that you have to get to a place where when you do that mental math, so you evaluate yourself, it could be a quick little thing or just something in your mind, because it has to you have to build up that muscle in order to be able to do that quicker. So that way you can find your time to ponder and all of that and work through things, but that it's quick. So if you're in the market, you just decided, you know what, I could have cussed her out about that, but I didn't. Okay, cool, good job, Benia. Boom, 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 boom. Like, you're just able to do it quickly. Side note, did y'all hear my snap? I cannot snap a whistle. So baby, when it happens, I ain't gonna try to whistle right now at all, because I don't want y'all to see all the spit come out my mouth. But you want to be able to do like quick self-evaluations, right? And so when you what was I gonna say? So when you do that, then you want to, oh shoot, I almost lost it. I think I lost it, y'all. Shoot, I lost it. Because I said I was gonna do that right before my example, but I looked at my notes at my example and it totally threw me. Sorry, y'all. I know I'm gonna rewatch it and I'll put it in the comments. I'll come back to that because that was actually a good point that I really wanted to share with y'all. So that's my bad. I had a little brain fart. That's my bad. That's my bad. But yeah, just so again, before I give this example, it's the transition of right embracing the transition and not allowing yourself to go back to say that oh I say if it's one you everybody loves to talk about the holes they got right, so one of your old holes you didn't move past them finally, you didn't probably broke that soul tie, or at least at the last leg of breaking that soul tie, and here they go calling you because they can feel it in the spirit like she about to be doing better with life. Let me call her. Or he about to now this is what I'm hearing, y'all. I cannot believe that girls are so as toxic as guys are. Like I get it. I'm sorry. That is mutual. That's so crazy. Because I know I'm not. So it's really hard to wrap my head around, but whatever. So even with that also, that I guess with girls, so guys when they old hoes, he about to do better with life. Let me call him. He's smell like happiness by fitting to find him. Let me call him. Let me mess that up. Let me tell him what I got on, right? So when that happens and you tell yourself, you tell them no, like, I'm cool, whether if you kind of play it off easy or if truly if you like a me and it just make sure it's clear, like, no, I'm good. Like, we're not doing this anymore. I'm okay. Like, God bless you. Like, just, you gotta, right? But then it's that moment right after that. I'm telling y'all, oh Lord, it's that moment right after that she'll be like, I just told my kryptonite no. No, I didn't. Let me call him because I can't believe no. Cut it right there, y'all. You gotta grab yourself. You got to grab yourself and you have to make that decision right then and there to be like, no, I'm gonna keep pull with this right there. And that's the point. That's where a lot of us fail. Been there all too many times. All too many times. So like the example I was gonna give is like when we talk about doing that mental math and getting to a better place, like of making those self-evaluations, and again, like quicker and just more often, that you keep in mind something that you can't sexualize everybody you come across. There it is. That's where I was going. So remember when I said that since I've been born, I feel, that I have, always planned to get married. But I had to realize that I can't walk around, wondering every guy that I met, is he the one? Is he going to? Yeah. Because what if, not even knowing then that I'm like getting into entrepreneurship, right? Or there, but I still say getting into, because I'm humble. But like, what if, some people that I've met before that I wanted to, wonder and was hoping to explore the option of, are they my husband or whatever the case may be. And not even meaning that I got physical with all of them or anything, because that list is still on the low, period. But, it wasn't even for me to have that thought because you move differently. If I'm like, what if he's my husband? Now I'm trying to, probably trying to impress and this and that. Like, even though I really am always just me, but that's always that thing. It's funny because one thing I think of, which I still don't believe, but whatever. So my brother, my late dear brother, Stephen, he will always be on my back, y'all, swearing that I put on this cute, sexy voice or whatever when he could tell me about something to a guy, which is so not true. It's so not true. It's so not true to the point where I've been at work, even like in this recent position where I had to like call some participants or whatever, potential participants. And I distinctly remember being on the phone with this one like older gentleman. He wanted to tell me his whole life. God bless him. He's like a vet. He's disabled. He's just precious. But he winds up saying like, and I hope, I know this is all virtual. I know this training that we're about to go through is virtual and all, but I sure hope I get a chance to meet you. Sir, go on now. Go on about your business. I feel like I brought him up to y'all before. But Like I've gotten that, I don't know, over the phone now. To me, I feel like hearing myself talk, I swear I feel like I sound like a man. Especially don't let me be sick or a little crunched up in the back somewhere. Ooh, check. Um, but I can't help, like I've been told way too many times that I sound a little sexy or something on the phone. Like, no, nope, just nope, just here, right? So I don't believe that I switch that up for a guy because truthfully, if I like you, I don't know how to be. I told y'all that before. I said that last week about like dreaming that I hopefully have some sex appeal at some point in my life. Like, I don't know. But it wasn't for me to, because that's what I call it. I call it that's sexualizing a person. Like, even though it was, good intent. So that's why I want you to realize that. So we know one end, we know what sexualizing somebody means, right? Like, I see them gray sweatpants. No, stop. Stop. Y'all, you can get your peep on, but that's it. You gotta be a clean peep, y'all. Chill out, okay? Because if we're gonna complain about the guys when they get to turning and cracking their neck and breaking their head, I told y'all I absolutely love that. It's like a little game of mine in my head. Like I walk by, especially if I have something that's cute, like really cute or whatever. I'm walking, then somebody go to look. Gotcha. Ain't no butt back here. Gotcha. Right. Anyway, sick. I'm sick. But for real, so but that's so if we're gonna talk with the guys sexualizing it and breaking their neck, like ladies, like come on, we gotta chill out. Like with the guys, like them wear their gray sweatpants, like just get the clean look. Like, oh, okay, he healthy. You sure he is veggies? Like if you gonna look, but again, it's not even about that, y'all. We cannot sexualize people because we don't know what purpose they serve in our lives. That's my point. And that's what I was getting to. I took a long way to get there, but I was getting it. Again, even with sort of that was one end of sexualizing, but even with good intent of just hoping to be married, because that's always me. I was like, well, I don't understand, like why I'm not. I want to do it the right way. I want before I even conceived Sydney and all that. Like I want to do it the right way. I didn't have children back then, like, and still it's like no, because even with good intent and good hopes, you're still like, oh, this guy, okay, maybe. So I was, giving shit because I'm a hopeful person, so giving chance, like, okay, I guess I can get my number, sure. It don't mean I'm an answer. Like, I'm good for that. So be mindful of that. That's one prime example of something that just about all of us do. We sexualize people when we really shouldn't. Yes, especially if it's healthy and all, we know that person is of age and of sound mind, and we're of age and of sound mind, and we're adults. Okay, cool. But no, what if that person was really placed in crossed your path and placed in your life to serve the purpose of, helping you either grow your business or, expand your business or expand your mind to get you to the place of where, to consider, starting your own business. What if that? What if? Think of that. So, and I mean, side note, I mean, we can actually insert and apply the day old phrase, everything glitters and gold. So girl, even with that gray sweatpant print, baby, he can still stress you out. One of the likely probably stress you out more than it, but whatever. There's hope there, sure. So chill out. Like be easy. Okay. Here's another. We have to get to the place where we can separate the person, like as a human, from the role and position they play in our life, right? So if it is your mother, if it is your father, if it is your friend, if it is your significant other, I don't know, some people that have issue with if it is your child, I don't know, aunt, uncle, extended family, kinfolk, cutting them, like you have to get to the place where you can separate that because we choose to separate things that we really shouldn't. And so let that actually go. Like we need, remember I said we need to get to the place where we're redefining words and then kind of just clearing up some things of what we need to do. And so when we talk about, if we find ourselves having issues with people, so that's a part of us making like better decisions, and to help us through those moments because they happen. Allow yourself to realize that, what, I mean, really, one, on the spiritual aspect of it, it ain't the person at all, it's the spirit within them. Okay. And sometimes people that don't even know you at all, so absolute strangers, can still dislike you. We talk about that all the time, right? On the, again, our favorite cousin, the internet, World Wide Web. Okay. We talk about that. We say that, people just decide to, dislike you and because you just being you. Yeah. I can even think back to some teachers that I know for sure. I ain't now calm down, not letting all y'all off the hook because some of y'all made some teachers not like y'all for a reason. But I truly know I can definitely pinpoint. I'm thinking of each of them right now. And that's just high school. I don't think I had no, I did have experience in middle school too. Okay. But like throughout school, there have been teachers where I'm like, I just didn't understand. And now I completely understand. Like, oh, it was your spirit that did not mesh well with my spirit. That's all that was. And I mean, I got a good, positive, clean, and beautiful spirit. So what's I say about your one, okay? Just yours, okay? Just saying. So that's one, but to be able to separate. So that's why if we even have the discussion, we can definitely, now I'm thinking about it, have this portion of a conversation like in depth on another show, another episode. But when we talk about being able to respect the role or position that someone plays in your life, excuse me, even though, it's the person that ain't so good, right? just plain put, simply put. So it's to help you be able to be easy in that scenario, in that situation. Like, okay, all right, Aunt Edna, I'm going about your business now. All right, okay. That right there, just to make that choice, keep some peace and peace for yourself. It's not just for that person. Don't ever think that if you feel like you are pulling back or not being yourself or whatever the case may be, that you're losing out on. If anything, you're gaining. Anytime that your mind is trying to play a trick on you, because it's not your mind that's trying to play a trick on you, that's the enemy trying to play a trick on your mind. Come on. You're welcome for that one. That was good. That was off top of the dome. Okay. But whenever you think that, it's more than likely whatever that is that the enemy is trying to talk you out of is actually something that's going to help you. Right. So if telling yourself like, all right, if I don't call and cuss Aunt Edna out right now and let her know that I ain't feeling it, I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be the big bad wolf that I am. But in actuality, when you can just ease it down and sizzle it down, like, okay, God bless you, or whatever the case may be, you're giving yourself peace, right? And you're doing the right thing because you extending respect. I absolutely hear y'all. I get it when y'all say respect is earned and not given. I hear you. I believe that if you carry yourself as a respectful and respectable person, it's a given, to overutilize the phrase and term given, but it's a given. I just give respect. That's it. Like, now, has it been times when people disrespect it? Okay, but it's me. Now I'm deciding that I'm respecting myself and I'm not fitting to do all that with you. I'm not going to give you all that. It's really not worth my time. So I told y'all, one of my things is you get to yell and all that. I feel like I gotta throw hands. I don't know. I'm just high raised voices, elevated voices, and all that just go hand in hand with hands for me. For me, okay? I'm a work in progress. Don't judge me. But so we're separating the human from the role that they play. Because a lot of us, I told y'all, and I always, say that, what I struggled with was the shouldas, a bad case of the shouldas. If this is, if this is my mother or my friend or my boyfriend or whatever, like, you should, be the person that does X, Y, and Z, and this and the third. When that didn't happen, it was like, oh, whoa, what? Okay, so what do I do here? Now I'm upset. And then more importantly, or moreover, that if we really think about it, when we feel betrayed, I know I've said this before. I don't know if on the show, but I've definitely said this plenty times in life. But when we feel betrayed by whomever, I've said it on the show. When we feel betrayed, that if really we feel we're actually, the frustration from that comes from ourselves. So it's like, I put you on a pedestal, or I, expected more from you because of who you are in my life. And then that's when you're able to question yourself, like, ooh, did I put you there? Did I ignore some red flags? Red flags definitely exist in family ships, okay? All types of relationships. It's friendships, beau ships, frenemy ships, situation ships, family ships, like every ship that sails. Okay. Okay. Like that's, so it's instead. So what in all actuality, instead of what we actually need to do is to stop separating and prioritizing the potential over the red flags you see in people and consider that as a collective in order to make the best judgment call for your peace. Did you get that? I hope you did. The problem is we seem to view red flags as challenges to step up in order to prove something, when all actuality, red flags are simply warnings. They're warning signs, y'all. We choose, not to do that. And here's your B tip of the week before we get out of here in a little bit. Try this on for size. Turn every negative thought into a prayer. Everyone, every single time. And I mean, y'all, I have really gone to God in prayer because it's why I have the sense of peace that I have and continuing to, grow it and foster the growth of it in everything that I do. But y'all, I have gone to God so angry. I have gone to God high. I have gone to God drunk. I have gone to God before and after a DA. Can we talk? Like, seriously, I have gone to God everything. I've cussed in prayers because how angry I was because of something I just really didn't understand. Am I saying it's okay, like to continue to do that? No, because you learn, to come to him more eloquently, but how you get it out, that's when because y'all love to overutilize this um, come to him as you are, go as you are, right? Come as you are when y'all talk about like going to church. It's really talking about your spirit. It's not really saying you can wear rags, but we can get into that later. But in prayer, when you're going to God in prayer, I promise you, if you were the person that's going to God in everything, if you were to be the person that happened, that one Sunday or Bible study or whatever service and show up kind of like, looking, I guess, not to your best, people really probably wouldn't even worry about it. Like God would just help, like protect you there. I feel that way. That's the way I think. Or it will probably be on you that it just wouldn't matter to you because you're there for his spirit, you're there for his presence, right? So go to God in everything, every negative thought that you have, take it in prayer. Turn it into a prayer. When you think of seriously, like it could be in traffic, these stupid people, Lord, if you Lord, clear the road, party like the Red Sea, something, because I was actually gonna be on time, and now I'm not. Okay, just everything. Lord, this girl chewing this gum behind me, and I'm already pissed off because of work, and I got to do that. It's okay. Now, do you have to like something in those examples? Well, in the one like in the store, right, with somebody chewing gum behind you in that example, you have to say it out loud and be nasty about it? No. If you're in your mind, because it's about being inside, on the inside of you, it's gonna work. It's gonna work for you. I promise you that. So when we talk about like red flags as being the simply warnings, right? Instead of us viewing them as challenges to step up, because we'll be like, oh, I don't have no way to stay. Well, I mean, I got my own. Like I'm really excited. I have my own way, my own stuff. That's a red flag, sis, because it's equally yoked. That means that that's not going to work out for your good. Just saying. Just saying. I've learned, y'all, because I was that person to be like, no, people could, and see how my voice elevated. No, so, but that's not to be confused with judging others. That's the thing. So yes, you're making a judgment call for yourself, for your peace, but it's not judging others, right? We have to remain humble because that's not our place. That's it. Remember that it was, here's one for you. Remember that it was my sin and yours that nailed Jesus to the cross. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? It wasn't his. He's not a man that he could sin, not a man that he could lie. So he definitely didn't deserve all that he endured. But he did it for us. And it was because he knew so many years later that I was finna do something stupid. Like a lot. Like a lot. And if you were gonna do something stupid. A lot. But sin is sin. That's it. Okay? Okay. As long as you got it. Also, keep in mind that if it doesn't chase you, baby, when you walk away, keep walking. Keep going. That thing don't chase you. I was there. I have definitely been there. Like I was in a relationship where, anytime I was like, oh, Lord, a lot. That was me. I was, this supposed to be over. Done. Nope. Next. I don't fix this. Apparently ain't good to talk to you because we can't figure it out. Da, da, da. And every time she, oh no. So I was like, oh, he must love me. He must love me, girl. And then so when it finally got to a place, it was like, you weren't really chasing no more. Like that. It was like, now I'm chasing him. Oh, y'all. Oh Lord. If I only knew. It's okay though. I had to go through it. So I can appreciate my husband when he comes. My baby is coming. Baby, I love you. Wherever you are, whoever you are, just know I love you already. I know that. That's in my soul. I digress. But yeah, if it does not chase you, when you walk away, keep on going. That's a good thing. That's what I mean by that transition time. So, when you call, because for the guy that I was telling y'all about, I was talking like to him, that, I'm not cut off my hose, truth be told. And so, because I think I asked y'all this before, like if you can have two, I just said it earlier, kryptonites, right? That one or whatever, I was actually in a relationship with that one. Okay, cool. But then there was another one, and so he like his lingered on. He was literally like, I called him a side nigga, but he wasn't because I didn't do that. Like when I was in a relationship, I was like, okay, that's it. But it's like that. Okay, I'm not in a relationship no more. What you doing? And so I cut it off with him, right? And when I did, literally I said like, whatever, you're calling me for tonight or whatever, like it's not gonna happen. I've met somebody that is worth me exploring to find out if they, are everything that I need. I'm gonna just give you everything. I'm gonna say it. Like if I'm good at like telling myself, like at work, whatever, anyway, like I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna get straight to it. I don't want you trying to figure it out. And yes, I still know that in him trying to at least like send certain DMs, which have nothing to do with what you're really trying to get at, but you're still just trying to keep my attention to something that, that's what you're trying to do. But, and that's now after the fact that I don't talk to the guy anymore and I'm completely single, but still, truth be told, my mind is I'm really on the prize. I know my husband is coming soon. I know that, right? I really feel like I know who, but I'm gonna keep y'all. Yeah, it's not your business yet. It's my business. But he gonna figure it out real soon. But I'm focused on that because of the fact that I believe that God has revealed to me who it is. Right? I'm focused, and my thing is I also keep the humble spirit of like, you know what? If it's not him, Lord, I'm still just focused on everything else I'm supposed to be doing or that I'm doing now. Right? Y'all, if it don't chase you, baby, when you walk away, go and keep walking. Don't you turn around. No, don't worry about it. It's behind you. Behind you for a reason. That's it. Ain't no U-turns up in here. Okay. So here's the thing to mention that we as a people have to be mindful that survival mode that we've all been operating within includes self-work. So we as a brown colored folk, that's what we know to do is to survive. We know to, just get by. But now in the generation that we live in currently, and the generation that is functioning and is being called to leadership, that it's due right now. And it's due, not just due, but do better than what we know, than what we're used to, than what the experience or the models that we've been given. I actually literally just cried out earlier, like, Lord, I'm so tired. Like I don't know what's been going on inside of me, but I think partly of it is like missing my brother. Just coming over me. So I went and talked to him today. Did like some stretching out there. I literally like laid out on his grave. Like at least this time I was like on my back. Like usually I have my little blanket. Literally my little cemetery blanket. but I didn't have that with me. And still, like, just I laid out. It was a beautiful day today. I pray y'all got out here to experience this beautiful day. And then I went for like I told y'all, like my walk after that or whatever. But I stretched while I was there, and like I remember crying out, like, God, I feel alone. Like, I don't like this. Like, I'm so ready. I know that I have God with me. I know that. I'm very, very well aware of that. And then given that I have my daughter, right? So yes, but I just had to let her know like that I am so ready for that my person. And seems though I, lost my brother who was my person, but then that would never be, my there, we all know quick quick lesson. We know that intimacy does not mean like sex, right? It doesn't necessarily just mean that. So it gave me a level of intimacy where for me personally, I, yearn like a male's presence. So my brother would be that, like just to talk to, a guy and get a male's perspective on something and this and the third. That was enough for me. That did well for me. I guess that it attributes to daddy issues and issues with my own brothers and, like biological brothers and all that. But that was like he was Stephen will forever be always has been my person. And so it's hard to deal with, not having him here physically with me, right? And so when I get into those places, I know this would have been a time I just called him and just talked to him. I don't know for no reason. We just breathed on the phone and laughed a little bit. And so I cried out to God about that. Like, God, I feel alone. I'm so ready to have, my husband, my person, right? A designated person to be that I could be, intimate with and sexual, just everything, just the whole, package. And so, but yet I still had to keep in mind that even though, so I had to, once I, worked through that, got it out, that, it was like, okay, I'm in survival, I'll just make it through. But I was able to check myself and realize like, Benia, this is good that you're letting this out, that you're being truthful with yourself. God already knows anyway. He knows what's in your heart. He knows that, you feel as though that, you're alone right now. And just for whatever reason, just, you just need that little pat on the back, something, or, your husband around, pat you on the butt, make you feel like it's fat, whatever. Like he knows. And that's it. And so that in that moment and, telling myself, listen, talk to yourself because you need a real nigga's advice. Amen. Just saying, talk to myself. Okay. So I had to, shake that, like, it's okay. Let this out. Cause I could tell that I was crying, but still trying to hold back. So I'm like, what, girl, get this out of you. Because that's the self-work right there to release. I told y'all a while ago, go on, cry, get that up out of there. Get that up off your chest. What are you holding on to it for? Why? Again, why do we want to hold on to or, partake in or indulge in or, take in something that we call a treat and think it's good for us, knowing that it means us no good? To hold on to a cry when my body is showing me, and I'm preaching y'all every week, telling y'all to cry and let it out. Yet here I am, I'm literally on all fours, on my hands and knees at my brother's grave, like have every right to get it out. Every right. It did me some good today. So just saying. So on top of that, they say never judge someone without knowing their full story. But baby, you shouldn't need to know someone's stuff in order to pray for them, cover them, or wish them well. Y'all wouldn't know half of the things, I guarantee you. As much, and I'm very authentic and very real when I talk to y'all, but still, it's just how life goes. You wouldn't know everything. I mean, maybe after some time, I don't know, maybe we'll set a deadline that y'all will check with me and let me know if you feel like, by that time you should know everything about me, but you never will. I look forward to being married and with my husband that we live a lifetime of learning each other. That is the whole point. You never know someone fully, right? So you'll never know all of my stuff. But it should not stop you from wanting to cover me. When I hear of someone, dealing with something, immediately I, go into prayer, just a quick something at least in my head. And then if not, then when I go into like full prayer, when I'm home and I'm on my knees and in my prayer posture, I'll say like God, either if I've like forgotten the person, whether it's their name or, I remember something about the Lord, please remember the white guy, the older white guy I ran into in Walmart, cover him, I don't need to know your stuff. It's funny though, because I told y'all that people feel the need, like, and tell me their stuff, and that's okay. Totally okay with me. Even with, I know I brought it up, quite a few times, like recently, but like I said, with the friends that betrayed me and all that, like something has come up, like smaller, but still something's come about that person, like someone calling me, and I'm just like, okay, but where I guess it would have made sense to mention something about them, but it's like no, like I'm a true friend through and through. So that wasn't my place to mention. Not that that person was asking, but to clarify something, right? I'm like, oh, was this that person? It's like, well, no, but and then that was it. I could have ran down. Oh, it was that person. That no, and yet there's somebody that is just goofy and betrayed me, but whatever. Sidebar, it's the very people that always post about, how much they hate drama, they cause drama, but people don't recognize it. Some people do not do the self-work. They don't self-reflect. They don't work on the true inner self to get to a place where they're able to, have those self-evaluations. So this is why I pour out to you guys, imploring you to do this work so that way you don't fall in that category. Because all of this that I bring up is necessary work. I'm not saying it just for my health. I promise you. I mean, technically, it's healthy to me, but it's not just for my health. Is my point. If you're able to do, if you're able to cover those people without knowing their stuff, be able to do that. For those that have wronged you and or those that you are outgrowing, that tells me that you're someone able and willing to celebrate those still in your life when they win and gain, even if it's parallel to a low point in your life. Meaning that, if like right now, right? So again, I always talk about marriage and this and the third, and I'm being so honest and so raw and so authentic right now, and saying that I had to pray to God to make sure that He doesn't allow me to become bitter. So I'm so excited. My biological older brother, who I feel like now I'm closer with, it's his fiance, and of course, they were married before they were engaged. It was his girlfriend, but they had their children, all that. So he's the one. He had children like all around the same time. So my daughter and all of that, and so I feel like I have more relationship with her than him. But whatever, I love them all because I'm just a lover. But so I'm all of that to say that I've always called her my sister-in-law because that's what I was about to call her to y'all. So, but like. I love them because only they will call you at like 9 something at night, like the other night. And then I'm talking about like the wedding plans and they're serious about it. Good. Right. And so I'm excited. I love weddings. And then this is a close to home wedding. And so I had to make sure I just prayed, like, just to make sure that I didn't turn into like this bitter person or this or that. Like, Lord, make sure you cover me and purify my heart and don't allow me to, to get to a place of like, well, where, Lord, hello, single here, right? So, that's all. Like, just went ahead and covered myself, for that, and just other things, other good things happening in other people's lives that I know, and just cover myself. It's okay to do that. It doesn't mean that you've gotten to that place yet, but you want to avoid and prevent as much as possible ever getting to that place. So you want to be able, if you're able to cover people without knowing their stuff, to me, that's parallel to the fact that you're equally as able and even willing to, celebrate people in their ups, even if you're in a down. That's important. That's good character building, right? You can train yourself to minister in your mess. You don't necessarily need a title. I mean, no, y'all don't get to running out here laying hands and all that. So the ministry is not just that. Ministry is, speaking good into people, wishing people well. That's ministry. That's doing the work of God, the work of Christ. It is. So, surprise. There's actually, let me tell you this from experience, there's a greater blessing in being a wounded warrior and choosing positivity. Again, because you're going to utilize the B tip of the week. Every time you have a negative thought, you're going to go in prayer about it. I don't even mind. I mean, because it takes work, but I don't mind. And I mean, this is me speaking. I ain't saying that God told me this is okay. So y'all take it over with your Lord, Savior Jesus Christ. But I don't mind if you tell me that, it's one of those like, Lord, if one of those, listen, but if you really wanted to get up there, you're going to make sure you seal it good. Okay, put that good stamp on there saying the name of Jesus. Amen. Just saying. But if it's something, if it's in that moment, because at least that's getting God's attention to be like, you know what? They are, understanding that I am ruler over all, and that even in things that they feel like might be small to me, or if it's too heavy for them, it's light to me, but they're acknowledging that I'm ruler over all, and so that they can bring any and everything to me. Even if it is, I'm telling y'all, it's like in anything, things that you wouldn't even think is okay to bring up to God. Maybe we'll talk about that one day soon. The things that we don't even think is okay to talk to God about. Nothing's on that list, actually. Surprise. Excuse me. Before we get out of here. So also, we want to make sure that we're careful not to idolize what someone else is or doing. What someone else is doing or has, sorry. Careful not to idolize what someone else is doing or has. It might seem like the grass is greener, but baby, remember that the only grass that stays green is fake. All grass goes through a little sway. Might get a little light skin. Might come on back. Might have a little dead little dead patch. A little brown patch. You come on back. That grass that stay green all the time, it ain't real, y'all. It ain't real. Okay, just saying. Like, y'all know I'm crazy. I'm a quote Martin all the time. I want to actually make sure I read this verbatim to y'all the way I took notes. So, speaking of idolatry, right? So, to talk about idolizing something or someone else, you want to be careful not to do that, because not the only, but the number one sin, as we know, all sin is sin, but the number one that God will not tolerate is idolatry. Some of us are idolizing the very thing or person that we claim that we can't stand. That's why you want to turn every negative thought into a prayer, right? For God to help you. Even ourselves, though, right? So careful not to claim self-made. I've been there. Taught myself how to drive, for example, right? Everything is fine that I have and all that I'm working to accomplish. But everything that I'm trying to do, I've never seen before. So I got to a place of like, I'm self-made. I did this and all that. And then, oof, baby, that was during this, I got to strip everything from me. Like, what? You think you did everything, girl? Please. Truth be told, if you truly love self, it comes hand in hand with humility. Okay. You'll maintain a humble spirit because you'll embrace being humbled over and over again. It's those that don't truly have a sense of self-love that feel the need to overcompensate for the lack of self-love and idolize themselves, in turn committing the worst sin unto God. Here's the thing. We'll go through some of the same experiences as everyone else, but it doesn't mean we have to have the same outcomes. We can be the exceptions. Okay, catch that. The next time you feel the need to go off on someone, pray to God in that moment. I can guarantee you that your response and or approach will be different. Ever said, I was just about to cuss them out, but I don't even want to give it the energy. That's God working. That was God interceding. Our intended actions would have been a disservice to the kingdom, that person as well as yourself, and God saved you from the consequences. He knew what you were thinking. So all in all, choose today, not to be afraid of a fresh start, to start afresh. You're not starting over because you're starting from experience. I hope y'all got that. Until next time, I'm out of here. It's been another episode of the B Mix right here on BExposedRadio.com. I love you with the love of God, and I mean it. Peace.